One time for my man Adam. Appreciate you as always. Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns? Adam's here for it.
So this has been something that I've been like wrestling with in my own faith for about the last 2 years, and this has just been in dealing with the issue of evil and
see how you
like
put the pressure on. So like, if I can't answer this question, it's like you're just walking out of the
it's not even that. No, it's not even that. I'm just
in your hands.
No, it's all in God's hands. I'm asking this question just to kind of get your thoughts on this, because it's something I've wrestled with for a while.
Sure.
When you see in God's word Him saying, "That which a man, God is not mocked. That which a man sows, so shall he also reap." But you look at maybe like history or something like that, right? and there's all these times where I'll say a good example for me is America, right? The evils that America has done, it has not paid a fraction of that cost or anything like that. So if God judges nations, and we see that the Old Testament is replete with God's judgments of nations, how do we wrestle with, and we know that we've been on this continent for, like, Africans have been on this continent for 399 years, since 1619. I think that is right.
1619.
Yeah, in Jamestown. How do we wrestle with all of that in the context of reaping what you sow, both on a personal level and on a national, like in the group level? That's what I've been kind of trying to understand.
That makes sense. So I want to answer that in 2 ways. The first way is more of a side thought. It's partly my opinion or my perspective. And then the second one, I'm going to try to give something like more concrete, right? It's just something to think about. And some people disagree with me on this. I'm just kind of prefacing it that way. I'm just giving my perspective. When you think about America, right? And let's just go back to the Civil War, right? The Civil War, more people died in that one war than any other, in all of the other conflicts that we've been able to put together up until maybe about 5 or so years ago. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's interesting is this. I refer to anybody who's watching, and you can check it out yourself. There's a guy named David Walker, Reverend David Walker, black guy. And so back in, I want to say, 1820s, maybe 1830s, he was in the North. He was in Boston, right? And he wrote what's called David Walker's Appeal. I think the full version is David Walker's Appeal to the colored peoples of the world. If somebody wants to look it up. Now, David Walker's Appeal, he says something very interesting. He says that because of the sin of racism, it was very interesting. He said the sin of racism. He talked about slavery, but he was very specific about that. Maybe we'll get into that as to why he said it. He said because of the sin of racism, it's not going to be necessarily Africans rising up and defeating and throwing off oppressors. It's actually going to be them doing each other in. I put that in my experience. Splitting and doing each other in. It's very interesting because he says it's about 30 years before the Civil War. And it's almost kind of prophetic. Very interesting. Abraham Lincoln said something very similar. I'm saying maybe just before the Civil War popped off. That ranks close to the events. But he talks about that as well. How like this is like a national sin. And there was more of awareness of like the biblical worldview back then. So he puts it in biblical terms like as a national sin, we're not going to get away with it. It's just not going to happen. Thomas Jefferson, the same thing. He was right there at the founding of America. He said, and I wish I could get the quote right, but he talks about how, he says, when I think about the fact that God is just, I shudder to think about what might be in store for us. So he's writing that as at the beginning of America, as America is coming in.
That's crazy, yeah.
So you have different like inklings coming up in different people's writing and saying, you know what, this sin is real, and we're going to have to pay for it. And so with that being said, I don't think that it's coincidental or insignificant that the most, by far, the bloodiest war that America has been on American soil between the North and the South. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, so that's my perspective. I think that the moral law, I took it down there. When we talk about the moral law, it's kind of like the laws of nature. You know what I'm saying? Remember I talked about earlier with gravity, if I jump off a building, I'm going to fall. Right. The moral law is like that. It's every bit as real. And when you live in such a way that you buck on that moral law, you're gonna bump into an eviction. You know what I'm saying? One way or the other. And I think that, from my perspective, I think the Civil War would be an example of this. So that's one part. The second part would be, it is true that we reap what we sow. Very true. The question is when. You know, there are some people who do not reap the entirety of their judgment in this life. That's true.
That's true.
There are slave masters who lived their whole life and they just did it big as slave masters. They did what they did, and then they died wealthy. And some of their wealth is still circulating in our system today. Right? It's gone out of the children, so on and so forth. Now, what's interesting is this. We're talking about how every worldview has to answer this question. You know what I'm saying? Let's just talk about atheism for a second. Alright? This, I don't know, my handwriting is terrible. So atheism and Christianity. If atheism is true, right, there is no God, then those slave masters who accrued wealth, all that kind of stuff, I mean, they got off scot-free. They're gone. I mean, you know, they're just literally gone. There is no justice to be gained, or applied to them, right? On the other hand, if there is a God, I'm saying, as Christianity would suggest, then nobody gets away with anything. I'm saying, like, ever. Nobody gets away with it. There's only one way that you get away with it, and that's through the shed blood of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Now that gets to another issue, I'm saying, which maybe we'll tackle next time. But the whole point is this: under atheism, there is no hope for justice, eternal justice. At least in some cases. I'm saying, under Christianity, you do have a God who sits above it all. I'm saying, in one way or the other, nobody escapes the moral law. I'm saying, of their own ability. So that on atheism, eternally speaking, there is no hope for justice. On Christianity, we at least have the tools in place by which there can be justice. We had to have a longer conversation as to how that works out. You know what I'm saying? Between the combination of, working together between justice and mercy. You know what I'm saying? We have to talk about how that works out. But in any case, we don't have it. So.